Okay, guys, so before you go and work on the mixed practice where you have to use all four kinematic equations, I'm going to work through a couple of them with you guys so you can see the strategies at work and then how to select the correct equations. So you see the picture with the four kinematic equations that will also be posted in your assignment as well. And let's work on two practice problems. Okay, first problem, we have Onur drops a basketball from a height of 10 meters on Mars, where the acceleration due to gravity has a magnitude of 3.7 meters per second square. We want to know how many seconds the basketball is in the air before it hits the ground. So let's start off by writing our variables, the five that we have, VF, VI, D, A, T. Okay? Let's work backwards and start at the question. We want to know how many seconds. So when we see seconds, we know we're looking for time. The problem tells us that on Mars, the acceleration due to gravity is 3.7. We drop the basketball from a height of 10 meters, so that is our distance. And once again, we're stuck with two velocities. So we look at the problem, we're talking about a free fall problem. Why? Because we are dropping an object. The object is going to fall. So always, before we drop that object, the initial velocity is always zero. Okay? So we have VI of zero, we have the distance, we have the acceleration, and we have the time. The only variable that we're not going to deal with at all in this problem is VF. So I'm going to cross that out. VI DAT. Now let's go back to our equations. And since we know we're not dealing with final velocity at all, we're going to pick the equation that does not have final velocity. And that's equation number 2. D equals VIT plus 1/2 AT squared. We're going to go back to the problem. So now we know which equation we're going to use. Now we're going to solve for it. D equals VI T plus 1/2 AT squared. Okay, so now we're going to take our information and just plug it into our equation. D is 10, VI is 0 times T. Anything times 0 is 0, so we just want to cross that out. Plus 1/2. We don't. Our A is 3.7. And we still have our T squared. Okay? First thing we can do, we can combine our 3.7 and our 1/2 because they're numbers. Okay? So I'm going to bring down my 10. 10 equals what is half of 3.7, which is 1.85. And I still have my T squared. Okay? So even though we have this T squared and we need to solve for T, we're still multiplying T squared times 1.85. In order to get rid of the 1.85, we have to do the opposite operation, which is division. And that's going to be 10 divided by 1.85, which gives us 5.41, and that's equal to t squared. We are not finished because we have t squared. So the opposite of t squared of square is taking the square root. So you're going to take the square root of 5.51. Your t, your time is going to be 2.32 seconds. And I'm just rounding to 2 decimal places. So we were able to find the equation based on the variables and the information that's on the side. We're using equation number 2 because it's the only one that does not have VF.